Hi everyone. Today I am here to bring you a full body Pilates Reformer workout using a resistance band. As far as equipment for this workout today, you need a reformer, you need your box, and you'll also need a resistance band. Today I'm using a fabric resistance band. It's of medium resistance, but you could also use a tied TheraBand or a rubber loop band as well. As always during this workout, please feel free to modify as necessary. Really listen to your body and adjust those springs to the equipment that you're working on and how you're feeling today. When you're ready, gather that equipment because this workout starts now. All right, guys, I am all set up. I've got 2 heavy and 1 medium spring on my reformer. My headrest is down. I've got my straps hooked up for later use, and my foot bar is in a very high position. I like to work with my foot bar that high for footwork, but if you'd like to push it a little further away from you, you can do that as well. We're gonna take this resistance band that we have, and we're gonna place it above our knees. Again, I'm using a fabric resistance band. It's medium resistance, but you could also use a TheraBand tied into a loop or a rubber loop band. All right, so come on down to the center of your mat. Let's bring our heels onto the foot bar, arms down by the sides. Find a lot of length through the spine, reaching the crown of your head back behind you, reaching your tailbone down and forward. Draw your navel in, press out on your band slightly till it feels engaged, flex your feet, and when you're ready on your next inhale, press the carriage out and pull the carriage in. While you're moving the carriage out and in, I want you to focus on keeping approximately the same amount of resistance outward into that band throughout your movement. Find your breath here. And for our footwork series today, just move at a pace that feels comfortable for you, where you can feel nice and connected to the work that you're doing. Nice, let's do 4 more here. Knees pointing straight up to the ceiling. Last 2. On this last one, press all the way out. Come halfway in. Press out on the band for 8. Release. 7. Release. Carriage is staying totally still. Exhale, 4. 3. 2. Now hold that band stretched out and pulse away from the foot bar for 8. 7. Tiny little movement. 6. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend the legs fully. Come all the way back in. Move your feet into Pilates V, so heels together, all 10 toes, including the pinky toes on the foot bar. A little external rotation through the hips, through the knees, through the feet. Anchor through the tailbone. Take a breath, inhale, and press the carriage out. Exhale and pull the carriage in and push that band apart. Inhale to press out. Exhale to come in. Keeping those heels glued together. Let's do 6, 5, 2. On this last one, press all the way out, come halfway in, keep the carriage nice and steady, and press that band out for 8, 7, 6. Nice neutral spine here, so that tailbone is not tucking under. Last 3, last 2. Now hold that outward pressure on the band and pulse out for 8, 7, 6. Last 4. Last 2 and 1, straighten the legs all the way. Separate your heels so that they align underneath your toes, and let's just go for a little jog here, letting one heel drop under the foot bar and then the other before we move on. Good. Lift both heels up nice and high, bend the knees and come all the way back home. Bring your left heel onto the foot bar and extend your right leg out over the foot bar with the foot flexed, pinky toe pulling back towards the shins. Press the carriage out, and as you pull the carriage in, I want you to press that extended leg out to the side. Pull it back in as you extend the carriage, press out as you come back in. Nice. Once you've got the motion down, you can pick up the pace a little bit. I want you to focus on the knee, the standing knee pointing directly up to the ceiling, no matter what that other leg is doing. Last 4, 3, anchor through both sides of the pelvis, 2, last 1, press all the way out, come halfway in. Keep the carriage still, just press the right leg out to the right for 8, 7, almost feel like you're leading with the heel so you don't go into external rotation here. For 4, 3, 2, hold that leg out to the right, little pulses out on the left leg for 8, 7, last 4, just keep breathing, 3, 2, and 1. Bring both heels back onto the foot bar, fully straight legs for a moment. Switch your legs out and come all the way in, pressing that left leg out to the left, and then press the carriage out and bring your left leg back center. Press and in. Again, moving at whatever pace feels like you're getting an appropriate range of motion through the legs, where you can really focus on that pelvic stability. Last 4. Last 2. Carriage comes halfway in, just the leg press. Leading with that heel. Toes pointing up towards the ceiling, knees pointing up towards the ceiling. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now pulse out on the carriage for 8, 7, tailbone heavy, 6. Use the glute for 4. And 1. Press all the way out. Bring both heels down onto the foot bar. I'm going to do a little jog of my knees here. And then we're just going to move to the toes in external rotation. So find that Pilates V again. Heels together, toes apart. Extend one of your legs out over the foot bar. I'm going to go right leg out, still externally rotated. You're going to bring the carriage in. As you bring the carriage out, you're going to pull your knee in towards your armpit. Reach, pull, reach, pull. Last 4. Last 2. Last 1, press all the way out. Come halfway in. Extend your leg out over the foot bar and now lift it up. Up, up, up. For 5, 4, 3, 2, hold the leg up, pulse out on the carriage for 8, 7, 6, last 4, last 2, and 1. Press the carriage out, heels together, toes apart. Take a moment, switch your other leg out over the foot bar, find external rotation through both sides. When you're ready, pull the carriage in. As you press the carriage out again, pull the knee towards the armpit or towards that shoulder. And again. Last 4. Breath is flowing. 3, On this last one, press out. Pull the carriage halfway in, extend the leg, and lift it up. In external rotation for 8. Focus on that inner thigh. 6. The last 4. 3. Hold the leg up. Pulse out on the carriage for 8. 7. 6. Last 4. 3. 2. And 1. Come all the way in. Very nice. I'm going to take this band and just move its position so that it's down around my shins, below the line of the knee, arches of the feet on the foot bar. My headrest is already down. Arms down by the sides. Press the carriage out just an inch so the springs are engaged. And then from there, tuck the tailbone under and roll your pelvis up off of the carriage. Coming into your nice bridge, reaching from the shoulders through the hip bones all the way through the kneecaps. Keep thinking about reaching your knees forward as you roll the spine down. Nice. Relax the tailbone at the bottom. Take a breath, inhale, and then peel your spine back up again. Again, you've got that kind of constant pressure out on your band so that the outer hips stay nice and engaged, so that your knees track straight forward. Let's do 2 more. Take your time. Soften. On this last one, we are going to hold our hips up. And press the carriage out and in just an inch or 2. Nice for 8, 7. Really squeeze the underside of the glutes here. Last 4. Last 2. Pull the carriage in and press those thighs out and just hold them out. Hold for 8. Static hold 7. 6. Hips higher. 5. Squeeze the glutes. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Roll the spine all the way down. Very nice job. Scoot yourself away from your shoulder blocks a little bit so you have a bit more space. Take your loop band and place it around the arches of your feet so that you have a little bit of pressure out on the band. Curl your head, neck, and chest up and forward, hands behind the head. Now my knees are over my hips, and I'm going to press one of my legs forward over the foot bar, and then I'm going to switch my legs and switch. So as I'm doing this, it almost feels like I'm bringing my legs almost out and around, like a little semicircle, out and around, in order to maintain tension on that band. My upper body is in flexion. Last 5, 3, 2, now hold one knee in. Curl up a little bit higher through the torso, elbows wide. Now drive that knee into the chest and hold. Into the chest and hold. Into the chest and hold. Last 4. Deep exhale. 3, 2, and 1. Into the chest and hold. Rotate towards that knee. Center. Rotate. Center. 6, 5, exhale 4, and 1. Come center. Hug the knees into the chest for a moment. We're going to repeat those 3 exercises again. So when you're ready, knees come up over the hips, hands come back behind the head, come up into your forward flexion, and alternate leg pulls. Like single leg stretch. Last 4, 3, 2. Bring your opposite knee in. Pull and hold. Pull and hold. Curl up higher. 4. Elbows are wide. 3. Last one, now pull and hold and rotate for 6, 5, maybe we did 8, we'll have to add 2 more in. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh. All right. I'm gonna sit up for a moment and switch out my springs. Nice. Okay, so we're gonna do one heavy spring. Your headrest at this point could be up or down. I'm just gonna leave it down because I know we're gonna take it back down in a minute. But whatever feels most comfortable for your neck position. Grab that band again. Let's put it around the ankles. Grab onto your straps. Place your straps in your hands. Hands above the shoulders. Collarbones are wide. Find that connection at the underside of your armpit before we start moving. From here, press your arms down, lift your head up, pause. Press your legs forward, bend your knees in, and then lower your head down and lift your arms. Exhale, head, neck, and chest lift. Press out, pull in, lower. Again, exhale, press, pull, lower. Exhale, press, pull, lower. When you do that press of the legs forward, I want you to think about keeping the weight of your body right behind the lowest ribs. Try not to let the weight transfer too much into the pelvis. I know that that's almost impossible or is impossible, but I want the thought process to be, how grounded can I be in my low ribs in order to really engage my abdominals as I move those legs outward. Last 3. Last 2. And one more time. Beautiful. Slide your elbows down towards your rib cage, fingertips up towards the ceiling. Let's just start by pressing the arms forward and bending them. Head, neck, and chest can be down. Your elbows can be glued down to the carriage or hovered, softening the front of the rib cage down. We're going to do a variation of coordination here. So a 4-part exercise. The first part of the exercise is extending the arms and legs forward and lifting the head up. So bend your elbows, take a breath, inhale. Exhale, lift the head up, extend the arms and the legs. Then press the legs out into the band, release them, and then bend the elbows and the arm. I'm sorry, let me think. The elbows and then the knees. Let's start again. Elbows and knees bend. Take a breath, inhale. Exhale, everything extends and lifts. Open, close the legs, bend the knees, and then bend the elbows. There we go. Take a breath, inhale. Exhale, extend everything. Open, close, bend knees, bend elbows. Extend everything. Open, close, bend knees, bend elbows. Let's do 2 more. Open, close, knees, elbows. Last time. Open, close, knees, elbows. Place your straps back. Make sure your headrest is down if it was lifted. And then you're going to take your hands onto the pegs that are right by your ears. Make sure you have a little space between your shoulders and your shoulder blocks. Reach your toes up towards the ceiling. Press out on your band just slightly. Let's roll our legs in a circle. So tick-tock your hips to the right. Your left hip will lift. Sweep your legs around over the foot bar to the other side. And then come back center. Reversing it to the left, down and around, to the right and center, to the right, down and around, to the left and center. 1 more each way. Even though you're doing this sweeping motion with your legs, I still want your tailbone to be pointing straight forward, if that makes sense. So the tailbone still reaches towards the center of the foot bar, no matter where you are in your sweeping motion. Last time to even yourself out if you need to. And come back center. Nice. From here, lower your legs forward over the foot bar. Lift your legs up towards the ceiling. Lower your legs forward over the foot bar. Lift your legs up towards the ceiling. If you'd like to add in lifting your hips up, here we go. Lift your hips up and roll your spine down. Lower your legs over the foot bar. Lift your toes up to the ceiling. Maybe lift your hips up. And roll back down. Keep the front of your throat nice and open, especially if you're doing that rollover. Nice. I'm increasing the tension outward on my band as I roll down. Last two. And one more. Nice. Bend the knees. Let's take that strap off for a bit. Come all the way up. Let's grab the box. I'm going to put the box on long box in front of the shoulder blocks. We'll do just a little more flexion and then we'll get into some extension to open up the front of the hips. So have a seat. Take your band up above your elbows. Grab onto your straps. Now, if your band feels too tight, like this is a pretty intense feeling on my upper arms, you could do this series without the band. You could also use a rubber loop band that has less inward pressure as opposed to the fabric resistance band. But basically, I'm going to scooch my body back on the box, and we're just going to do bicep curls like this, keeping the elbows in line with the shoulders. Pull and release. Pull and release. So I'm pressing the band slightly apart so that my elbows can stay in line with my shoulders. And in doing so, I'm creating some work across the back. Nice job. Let's do 4 more. And last 2. And last one. Now hold your elbows bent at 90 degrees. Make sure you have a little space behind you on the box. Tuck your tailbone under and roll your pelvis down. And then roll your pelvis back up. Release your arms. Bend your elbows again. Tuck your tailbone under. Roll your spine down. And roll your spine up. Let's do 2 more. Extend. Bend. Keep those elbows lifting. Roll, roll. Extend, bend. Keep those elbows lifting. Roll, and roll. Good. And then slide that loop band all the way off. You can place it on your lap or to the side. We don't need it at this very moment. See if it stays there. Good. And then we're going to take our straps up over the elbows. So if you were using that loop band around your forearms, upper arms before, your back should be nice and warmed up. Let's take our hands behind our head once the elbows are, or the bands, the straps are above the elbows, excuse me. And then what we're going to do is a little back extension. So to start, seated nice and tall on your sit bones, round your upper back forward and let your elbows reach towards one another. And then keeping the tailbone facing downwards, press the elbows back and take your gaze and your sternum up. Round. And lift. Round. And lift. Let's do 3 more. Stay lifted out of that low back. The last time. Lift into back extension and then just come back into a neutral position of the spine. Uninterlace your fingers if they were interlaced. And what we're going to do is we're going to press the arms out to the sides and then bring the fingertips towards one another a little bit and then just press back. and back. My elbows are slightly below the line of the shoulder. Thinking about opening up the chest without flaring the ribs forward for 8, 7, last 3, and last 1. Now bend your elbows to 90 degrees. Let's circle the elbows around. Four more this direction. And reverse it. So back should be feeling nice and warm here. 6, 5, 3, and 1 more. Ooh, all right. Take those straps off. Grab your band again. We're going to end up laying down on our belly on the box with our head facing towards the foot bar. So I'm putting my band around my ankles and then I'm going to turn over. If you want to do that in some other order, you are welcome to. This is just the way that I am going to attempt to get over onto my belly. Okay. Forehead over your foot bar. Hands in line with the shoulders. Elbows slightly below the line of the shoulders. Press out on your band just slightly, and I want you to press your pubic bone and your hip bones down into the box, keeping a nice long low back. We're still on that one heavy spring. Press out, lift up, lower down, bend in. Press out, lift up, lower down, bend in. My legs are a little externally rotated here, which I'd like yours to be as well. And we're going to add on a little bit here. So press out. As you lift up, see if you can bend the knees, extend the legs, and then come in. Press out, bend the knees, extend the legs, come in. You might lose a little bit of that resistance on the band as you bend the knees. Regain it as you re-straighten the legs. The last 3. Last 2. One more. Now on this last one, extend the legs and arms and stay here. I'm going to move my hands in so they're directly in front of my shoulders. I'm going to keep my arms fairly straight. I'm going to lift my right leg up and my left arm. Replace that hand and switch. So it's a small movement. Switch and switch and switch and switch for 8, 7, 8. Hip bones equally weighted. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both hands down, flutter kick the feet. Nice and quick. Squeeze the glutes. Engage the hamstrings for 8, 7, 6, last 4, last 2, and 1. Come all the way in. Prop yourselves up. Come to seated. Place the band around your thighs. You can keep the spring the same if you want. We're not really going to move the carriage for this next little series. We're just using the carriage as a mat. So we're going to come over to kneeling on top of the box. Be careful in your transitions. Your hands can be on the box or on the foot bar, whatever feels most comfortable for you. And then we're just going to extend one leg back behind us. This is a very short series. Pull your navel into your spine. Keep your spine nice and long and neutral. Extend one leg back behind you. Reach it down towards the headrest and up towards the ceiling. Hips are square, shoulders are square to the floor. Leading with the heel, the back of the thigh and the knee. Toe is pointed for now. Last 5, 4, last one. Now hold your leg up, flex your foot, bend your knee a little bit, little presses up. 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, bend your knee more, point your toe, press your toe up to the ceiling. Good, last 8, 7, last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both knees down, shift the hips a little bit right and left. Reset for the other side, knees under the pelvis, hands under the shoulders, collarbones wide. Other leg goes back behind you with the hips square. Pointed toe, lower and lift your leg. Nice job. 5, 4, hold your leg up, flex your foot, bend your knee a little bit, press up, up, up. 8, 7, bend your knee more, point your toe, press your toe up to the ceiling. For 8, 7, 6, last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Sit back into a shell pose. Arms over the foot bar, release the low back, head down to the carrot or to the box if it feels good. Come all the way up and off to the side. We're going to take that band off the thighs. We're going to switch our box into short box and put some more springs on to stabilize the carriage. So if you know that you need more space, you're going to put your box over your shoulder blocks, otherwise it's in front. I'm going to get my foot bar out of my way just a little bit here. I'm putting more springs on. I'm going to sit down on top of the box with the feet forward and place the feet underneath the foot strap. Flex your feet. The knees can be slightly bent here. I don't need straight legs. I know some people do teach that, but knees are okay to be bent. I want your feet to be your anchor, your lower body to be your anchor. Grab that band and place it around your forearms. You can also use a rubberized band, a smaller band between the hands, collarbones wide. Take a second to make sure you have enough space behind you on the box to be able to roll your pelvis. From here, take a breath, inhale, get taller. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, engaging the low abdominals, roll the spine back. Go back as far as feels good for you today. Press out on that rubber or that band and roll the spine back up. Let's do that a few more times, getting taller at the top. Tailbone under, engage the abdominals, roll the spine back. Exhale, roll the spine up. Don't just phone it in on this exercise. Think about what you're engaging. Take a breath, inhale, exhale. Tailbone under, belly in, roll it back. Before you move, exhale your breath, engage the abdominals, roll back up. You stay in your C curve or your rounded shape until your tailbone is right underneath you. Let's do 2 more. Last time. Okay, let's rotate the arms to one side. Tailbone is centered on that box. Roll down the side. Roll across. Roll up the other side. Stay on this angle. Roll down this side. Roll across. Roll up the other side. Going back and forth here. Down. Arms are angled to one side. We angle them to the other. We come up. Down. Switch your angle. Down. Switch your angle. One more each way. Last time. Beautiful job. All right, if it's comfortable for you, you're going to take the resistance band around the base of the neck. Whoop. Just like if we were using our magic circle here, you want your neck to be slightly supported. You're going to take your hands on the outside of the strap. Nice flat back. Lean the body back. You're not pulling on your neck, it's just giving you some support, and then sit all the way up. You can also just do this with hands behind the head. If you're like, I feel claustrophobic, just use hands behind the head. Find that connection between your ribs and your hips. Let's do 3. And 2. And one more time. Come all the way up. Unhook yourself from there. Roll over onto one hip. Make sure that your top leg is really pressing up into your strap. Hips are stacked. Place your band around your hands. Collarbones are nice and wide. Lean over so you're in one nice long line, head in line with the spine, and then rotate the torso down towards the well, and then rotate the torso up towards the ceiling. Rotate the torso down towards the well. Rotate the torso up towards the ceiling. Keep that band right in line with the center of your chest. Let's do 3. And 2. On this last one, we are going to rotate the band up towards the ceiling and little pulses upward. Upward with the torso for 8, 7, 6, last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a big stretch down, rotating the torso or one forearm on your headrest to take that beautiful side bend. Nice. When you're ready, come all the way up. Let's turn over to the other side. Switch out your feet under the strap. Find that side lying position. Upward pressure into your strap. Hips are stacked. Both hands are in your band as an option. Arms go forward. Find your long line, open your collarbones. Rotate your torso down towards the well, spiraling around that spine, and then rotate your torso up towards the ceiling. Hips are nice and stable here, down and up. Last 3. Last 2. One more time, rotate upwards. Little pulses up for 8, 7. Last 4. Last 2. And then take whatever stretch feels good to you today. All right. We are going to finish with some planks today, so come all the way up. Unhook your feet from that strap. I'm going to come down to one medium spring. And then I'm going to elevate my heels up on the foot bar. I'm going to keep that band around my hands and then place my hands down onto my foot bar. Actually, yeah. Okay, Grab onto the foot bar, engage the back by pressing out on the band just a little bit. If your foot bar releases, just make sure you don't pull on it and release it by accident. Lift your hips, shift your weight forward into your hands, press the carriage out. Pull the carriage in with the hips nice and low, and press the carriage out again. In, out, in, out. The band is there to remind you to engage your back. Last 4, last 3, last 1. Hold the knees nice and long. Press the carriage out from your shoulder. Pull the carriage in. Now, if you feel like, oh, I need more spring, this is too light, put a heavier spring on. Maybe go for one heavy spring instead of one medium. Last 4, 3. Really press your heels back into the box. Last 2. And 1. Bend your knees in, keep your hips low, pull the carriage all the way home. Float your hands up in front of you. I'm turning my palms to face each other, lifting the upper arms by the ears, and then we're pulsing down into a squat for 8, 7, 4, last 2, and on this last one, hold your squat, pull your elbows down, and reach your arms up, and pull your elbows down, and reach your arms up for 4, 3, last 2, and 1. Very nice job. Hands down to the foot bar, lower your heels down onto the carriage. If you feel comfortable here, take a nice forward fold, releasing your band. Maybe grab your elbows with your hands and rock a little side to side. You can do this on the floor as well. Hang out here, releasing all the tension through the neck. Releasing the arms, having a seat, and sitting up tall. Great job today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that workout. Please leave me a comment or a question down below. Let me know what you'd like to see next. As always, please subscribe and share, and I will see you again soon. Thanks. Bye.